everyone, welcome back to another video. I have bare nails today because I'm going to be doing some full-on tips from Magpie. It's been a long time since I've had long nails, so I haven't done any longer nail designs like on nails for a long time on my channel. So I thought it was about time that I did, and now I've got a night basically where I'm just going to dedicate time to doing videos. So here we are. So I've already prepped my nails because I did that in the process of removing my builder gel that was already on them, so that's why they're all red, like rough and ready to go. So this is what they look like. I've done all my prep. I've got a bit of skin just hanging in that corner. There we go. So this is what they look like, ready for application of the the full-on tips. I've actually prepped my full-on tips as well. Oh, just moved that by accident. I'm just gonna give my nails a clean. So I'm just dusting them off first, and then I'm going to spray with some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm going to get underneath and on top, make sure they're completely dust free, and then I'm going to give that a few minutes to dry. And in the process of that, I'm going to show you the full-on tips. They are already prepped. I've basically, as you can see, I've roughed up the underneath. So the way that I've prepped them is I've used a sanding band on the ones that are big enough to be able to use a sanding band on. I've made sure they all fit, so I've already sized my nails up, found the ones that fit sidewall to sidewall, so that's perfect for all of them. And then I have, like I said, used a sanding band or just a, for this one I used a flame bit to prep it because obviously it's really small, so I couldn't get a sanding band in there. But I'm just going to make sure that these are all clean. I'm just going over with a brush to make sure there's no dust underneath the nails. I've also charged my light. I only have one from, where have I put it? Yeah, from Extends. I actually did try the Extend system and I didn't like it, so I didn't end up using it. But this is the light that I've got. And I'm going to be attaching this somewhere, somehow, so it can just be dangling. So I can use it like that. So I've had to hang it off my holder, so I'm not going to be able to actually cure my nails on camera, but that's not the end of the world, so it's fine. So first things first, I'm going to apply my base coat to my natural nail only, because the builder gel that I'm going to be using is the Gel Perfection. I'm really sorry about the pitter pattering noise. The dog's in the room. He won't be for long because he'll get bored. He always does. But I'm going to be using the Gel Perfection first base, which is basically their thinner base coat. The other one is a rubber base. This one's nice and thin, so I think will work better for this sort of thing. Like I said, I have already pre-sized and prepped my tips, so they are all ready to go. I don't like prepping the tips as I go along because I just find it a bit of a faff, so I like to just get them all out, size them up to me or my client. I don't actually do these on clients anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. But that's how I used to do it. Make sure that they're all sized up completely first, and then just sit them on the desk next to me, ready for them to be used. So I'm just going to cure this for a full cure, which is 30 seconds for the Gel Perfection base coat. Just doing it on my thumb first, so I make sure it's fully cured, and then I'll do the 4 fingers after. So I've applied my base coat to all of the nails. I'm now going to go in with application. So I'm just going to make sure again that it all fits nice and secure. I did mess up the bottom of this one, to be fair, so the application of it isn't going to be great, but we're going with it anyway. I'm going to use clear because I always feel like I can really see then if I've got if I've got any air bubbles. Totally forgot to get my builder gel, which isn't useful. So I'm just going to get my nail. I actually much prefer applying these on somebody else, not myself, but I'm going with it, it's fine. My gel's really thick because it's really cold in my room at the moment. I'm too lazy to walk over to the heater and turn it on, so that's why. So I've got my light next to me. I'm just going to flick it on, ready to use it. So it's ready to go as soon as I am. And then I'm just going to place this at the cuticle, put pressure on, and then when it gets to the top of my nail, like so, I'm going to pop it under the lamp Okay, I did my index finger as well. I totally forgot to press the button. Well, I didn't forget. I thought I'd pressed it, but obviously not. So that's the index finger done. So I'm just going to apply some to my next nail, which is my middle finger. Like so. Make sure there's one on the top of the nail. I think the main thing is just knowing how much gel to use. That's the hardest part, I think, of this sort of application. But obviously if you were doing them all the time, you'd get used to how much you'd need. I'm just putting it straight under the light as soon as I get it in place. And then I like to put it under my actual lamp, like my proper big LED lamp, for 10 seconds as well, just to keep it in place long enough while I do the next nails and stuff, because I feel like those little lights don't really have much power. Like, I don't actually know how much power they've got, but I just imagine it's not a great deal. I did have a little bit of spillage on that one, but I'm just gonna literally pick it off. Very professional. So yeah, it's going well so far. I mean, that one was a little bit wonky, but nothing major, so it's fine. And I'm going in with the ring finger. Like so. Take some of that off because there's quite a lot on there. And then I'm going to flip it over. Place it on. It's hard to get into the right position when you're doing it on camera. And then once it's where it needs to be, again, just taking it over to the light. And then once it's been under the little LED light for about 10-15 seconds, I just pop it under my actual lamp for another 10. I've definitely used too much gel for every nail up to now, but I'm going to try and just apply a little bit to the pinky. Let's give it a go. I've got quite long nails, so I'm trying to obviously make sure that I have enough, well, not quite long nails, but there's like obviously nail there that needs to be all covered. I'm trying to get it to stay focused. I'm just tapping the screen with my nose. Putting it on at a 45-degree angle and then putting pressure on until it gets to the free edge. Putting it under my light. Sorry about my arm. And once that's in place, again, I'm just going to pop it into my lamp for 10 seconds. Well, actually, no, that was the last nail. So, sorry about that, just taking my light out. That was the last nail, so I'm going to put it in my lamp for a full 60 seconds now to make sure that it's completely cured. And then we can shape them and prep them everything for some design, which I actually haven't even thought about yet, which I probably should get going about thinking about. So I'm going to go in with my Anastasia bit now and just run that round the cuticle area, just to make sure that there isn't any leftover gel, and if there is, it'll remove it, and also to make sure that the full-on tips basically are not stuck to my skin. This one, there is spare gel, so I need to be careful with that. I've already got a bit of a sore on this nail, so this is actually not the best nail for me to have messed up, but what can you do? I'm just pushing the skin back. Actually, I'm just going to push it back from underneath. And then I can go over the top. Like so. And then last but not least, my thumb. Just want the skin back on the sideboards to make sure I don't cut myself. And then what I'm going to do is just get a file and I'm going to run it around the cuticle area. I'm going to be really gentle because obviously this area is well, like a difficult area to file because it's right next to the skin. You want to be careful of the skin. And we'll just put it down the side walls. And then again, just run it round. I'm not filing into it. I don't want to create any dents or anything. I just want to make it nice and smooth. So then I'm probably not going to have them on long enough for them to grow out anyway, to be fair, because I change them that often. But you want them to grow out nice and flush to the natural nail, which is why before I even apply the full-on tips, I do file the cuticle area before they're put on, like as part of the prep process, just to thin it out a little bit, just to get that nice and flush application at the cuticle area. And when they grow out, they won't be really bulky because that area is nice and thin. And side walls, and I'll mess about with the shape in a second. Shock, we're not in focus. And then once I've done that, I'm getting some right weird positions here. Once I've done that, I can sort out my actual shape. I'm not sure whether to take any length off or not. I think I need to add a couple of them because the pinky and pinky and index finger are far too long. Oh God, I just lost my voice there, far too long. So I think I'm just going to grab my penultimate bit. I really like this bit for taking down length. I'm just going to turn that up, and I'm going to just take off the number. Get that from underneath. Straighten that off from all angles. Obviously I will file it properly with a hand file. Must remember with the Magpie tips, the Magpie full cover ones, is that they are ABS plastic, they're not gel. So that is why I purposely didn't cut these nails down and why I'm e-filing them instead. If you cut them, you'll get that white effect where the plastic's been bent. I'm going to go underneath to make sure they're all smooth. And they are. It's better. And then I'm going to get my hand file to straighten off the edge. I think I'm going to go coffin. I haven't had coffin nails for ages because I don't have my natural nails coffin. And I've only had my natural nails for God knows how long now. So it'd be nice to have a bit of a change. Like I said, this is basically just for the purpose of creating videos. I'm not doing my other hand the same, and I will be cutting these down once I've made, like once I've filmed the videos I want to with longer nails sort of thing. So I'm just going to take these in ever so slightly. I do want like a wider coffin, not a really like tapered one. More like a tapered square, to be honest, than a coffin. Feels really weird to have nails this length. I haven't for ages. I'm just making sure that the nail's still coming straight out and not going upwards or anything like that. But that's all I'm doing with them, is literally just taking them in ever so slightly, just so they don't look as wide and bulky. And then I will keep checking from different angles that they're all similar and all the same length and shape. So that is all I'm doing off camera for a second. Okay, so this is what they look like now. Let's just dust off a bit actually. This is what we're looking like. I'm now just going to go in with my e-file again with a sanding band this time, just to rough up the surface, and then we can go straight in with colour or design or whatever we're going to do, which, to be honest with you, I haven't actually still figured out yet, so I do need to think about that. But I'm just using my e-file on much higher RPM than I meant to, 5,000 RPMs. Oh god, I've turned it up again by accident. And I'm just using it like that just to remove the shine from the nails. I'm not like shaking or anything like that. Don't want to file into them too much because they're already the structure that we need. Like, that's just the way they come. So all we need to do is just rough up that surface so our gel polish sticks to it. That's all we're doing. Just getting rid of shine. I'm going to do that on all 5 nails. Obviously that cuticle area is already roughed up because I've already gone around it with my hand file, so I don't need to do too much in that area. I'm just going up to that bit I've already done with my e-file. Again, really make sure not to be like digging into the nail. As you can see from a side profile, it's still the exact same as it was. If it would focus. There we go, the exact same as it was. I'm just going over to rough up the surface, not to change the structure. The apex and everything is in the exact place that it needs to be. The tips are automatically made like that. Super quick process, not putting any effort in really at all, not putting any pressure on my sanding band either, literally just letting it do its job. It's obviously already got grit on there, but just treating it like we would a normal hand file basically. And then once that is done and there's no shiny bits anywhere, just double checking, I'm moving my nails in the light. I'll just go over the free edge again with my file, get rid of any rough bits. Like so, and then once I've done that, they are ready for me to add something to them. So this is what we've got. I don't want to do anything too crazy in this video, just because obviously it's already pretty long just from the application part. So I'm probably just going to do something really simple that's not going to take absolutely ages. So yeah, I just need to figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm going to sit here and have a little brainstorm, think of a quick design to do. I'm also going to apply some what's it called, peel off base coat, because I don't want to have to keep filing off the tips, like the colour and stuff. So I'm just going to apply a peel off base coat, wait for that to dry, and hopefully by the time that is dry I'll have figured out what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've decided, I forgot to put the base coat on, so I'll do that in a sec, but I've decided to use some red chrome from Tapered Beauty. I haven't used chrome for ages, so I just thought it'd be nice to use that. I'm not going to use it in a, oh actually, saying that, look how beautiful these flakes are. I might have to use those instead. I've changed my mind, I'm not using chrome. I am actually going to use chrome as well as that actually, because they're the same colour, and I want to do some chrome stamping, so we're going to do that. So first of all I need to apply my base coat because I totally forgot. So I'm going to do that now, and then I will join you back here for the design. Okay, I finally decided what I'm doing. It took way longer than I wanted it to, but we're there. So if I don't end up liking them, I'm going to be really mad, but we're going to give it a go and just hope that I do. Oh, I've just nearly spilt all that, so that's a good start. So basically, like I said, I wanted to do some chrome stamping, but I also wanted to use those beautiful flakes. So we're going to be doing a bit of both. Just cleaning my bottle because I just forgot I took the lid off and got it everywhere. So I'm going to do 2 nails. I'm not going to do the thumb. I'm going to keep this ready for the next video that I'm going to film because I already know what I'm doing next. So I'm going to go in with Cocktail Cherry, which is a really beautiful, really deep colour from Gel Perfection. And I'm going to do that on my middle and pinky nail. This, I know it sounds strange because it's nowhere near the colour of the flakes I'm using, but this is going to be the colour that goes underneath my flakes. Because I'm going to be stamping those, like the chrome nail, well, the chrome colour is going to be used on top of a black stamping polish. So I almost need to make the 2 nails that are not going to be obviously black underneath. I need to make those a darker colour underneath to make sure. Basically, I don't want these 2 nails to be really bright red and then the stamping on the other 2 nails to be really dark because of the black behind the chrome, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going in with this colour. I'm going to do these 2 first because I don't want to get everything all over the place, because obviously the other 2 nails are going to be white and I don't want to get my flakes all over the white nails by accident when I'm doing these 2. So I'm going to do these first and then I can move on to them when the flakes are out of the way, not making a mess. So I'm going to half cure these 2 nails. I'm just going to cure them for 30 seconds so they keep a tacky layer for my flakes to stick to. Because Gel Perfection, like I always say in videos like this, don't have a particularly tacky layer. So I don't want to fully cure to start with. So I'm going to half cure, pop my flakes on and then cure again for the remainder of the 30 seconds that I need. But look how beautiful that colour is. Obviously it needs 2 coats because I'm using it on clear nails, but it's just absolutely stunning. So like I said, I'm going to pop them in my lamp for 30 seconds and then once it comes out we're going to stick these red flakes to it. These are like metallic flakes, they're not holographic, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing how much, oh, I can't get the lid off, to how they look. Let me just use this hand while it's in the lamp to get the lid off. Oh my god, they're beautiful. But look in that part, aren't they stunning? So I'm going to be using, just get it out, this fluffy brush that I always use. I've just used on a client before filming this video actually. She had some dusts, so I'm using this one. It's my fluffy one, it's a makeup one. Again, I used it in a recent video as well. I'm basically just going to pick up loads and loads of the flakes. You want enough on your brush to spread around the nail. Oh my god, I'm already so excited about how this is going to turn out. Look at that, that is beautiful. Absolutely love how that looks. Incredible. Very, very messy, but very worth it. So you need enough on your brush to be able to spread it along the whole nail, because if you keep going over the same area on your nail without any product on your brush, you're just going to wipe away the tacky, like the tackiness of the nail, and then nothing's going to stick. This looks absolutely incredible. It's almost like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just stunning. Let me just get off the excess from around it. Gosh, these look amazing. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful they look. I just need to tidy that middle one up a little bit because I've got some in the cuticle area. So I'm just going to go around with a clean up brush just to remove the excess that we don't need. But wow, how incredible do those flakes look as a full nail. Just stunning. I just need to really gently get the flakes off the other 2 nails now because I need to paint those. I don't want to mess up my peel off base coat. So I'm just being really, really gentle to get that off. Okay, and once I've done that, I literally can't get over how beautiful those 2 nails look. How absolutely stunning do they look? I can't believe it. Well, anyway, let's just get the flakes out of the way because we don't need those now. That's enough of those. We'll be using the chrome for the stamping, not the flakes. So I'm going to go in now with my white gel polish. And I'm going to paint 2 coats of white on the other 2 nails that are not painted yet. So my index finger and my ring finger, and then these are the nails I'm going to be doing my chrome stamping on. Just applying those, not very well to be fair. I'm purposely not going up to my side walls because I've got a real good habit of using peel off base coat on these nails and then getting my tool underneath the actual nail itself and pulling the nail off instead of just the peely base, which obviously is not good for lots of reasons. So I'm trying to avoid going right up to the side walls. I want to be able to see where the peely base begins and where the nail is. So I'm just going ahead and applying my white gel polish to those two nails. Flon tips make application so neat because obviously they are just perfect. They come in like the perfect, obviously not the perfect shape, like you might have to reshape them like I did, but they just come in the perfect structure and everything, nice and smooth. So it's a great canvas for your gel polish to go onto. Right, so that's the first coat of white on both those nails. I'm going to pop those into the lamp and then I'll do the second coat off camera and then we can come back and do the fun part basically. Okay, so I'm going to be using two different stamping plates. I just need to prep my nails ready for this step. So I have put a coat of base coat over the top of the middle nail and pinky, and look how much they've come alive in that like shiny with the base coat on top. They just look absolutely amazing. So I'm going to take the tacky layer off every nail. I've just took off a lot of the red of that, but it's fine, don't panic. Beautiful. Obviously it's just made them matte again, but don't worry about that. It's for a reason, it's all good. I'm going to get my buffing block and I'm just going to go over just the white nails because these are the ones that I'm going to chrome stamp over, where I'm just normal stamping on the red nails, so I don't need to do that this step for those nails. Just want to make sure that your nail is completely matte and that your chrome hasn't got anything to stick to at all, as you're going to struggle. I'm just going to dust that off. Perfect. This is what they look like at the moment. And then, let me give that a buff. And then what we're going to do is, first I'm just going to dust off the excess dust. We're going to do our quick stamping first. So we'll do our snowflakes first, just because they're super quick, because it's just white stamping polish, super easy. Not really a lot going on with that. So the plates I'm going to be using are, we've got this one here, which is XY Merry Christmas number 6. I have no idea. I think it's just one of those cheapy ones off Amazon again. I'm going to be using two different ones off here. So we're using this image here on one of my white nails. And then on the other white nail, we're using this one here, the presents. They're the ones that are going to be stamped with red chrome, which is this one, which is Sapphire. No, it's not Sapphire, that's blue, which is Ruby from Tapered Beauty. And then this is the other one we're going to be using, which is a Nicole Diary one, and it's L13. And I'm going to be using this for one of my red nails. And then we're going to use, where is it? I've gone blank. I haven't there. We're going to be using these snowflakes for the other nail as well. So let's get into it. So first things first, I'm just going to clean off all of the images that I'm going to be using so they're all ready to go. I think I might have changed my mind on one of the images on my white nails. I think I'm going to use this instead of the candy canes because I really love the presents, but I wasn't really that sure on the candy canes. So now I've saw this image, I think I'm going to use that instead. But for now, we're doing the white on red. So I'm going to get my white stamping polish, a stamper and a scraper at the ready. Get my, what's it called, lint roller. I'm just going to roll it over, make sure it's nice and clean before I get going. And then I'm going to get straight into it. I need to make some space. I've got so much stuff going on this desk, it's stressing me out. So we're going to use this one first, go straight in with that one. And I'm going to use that on my pinky nail. We're going all out like proper wintry Christmassy in this set. And then I'm just going to pick that up with my stamper and just pop that straight on the pinky nail. Very, very cute. Okay, so I've actually decided that for my pinky I want to use this one, like candy cane sort of stripes. They look really cute, so I'm going to try those, see how they look. If they look rubbish, I'll just revert back to the dots, but I'm going to give this one a go because I feel like that's going to look really effective. Definitely need to get some more white stamping polish before the madness of Christmas really kicks in, because I go through so much of it. So I'm going to pop that on my pinky. Oh, that's much better. I love that. That is so much better. Right, we're definitely sticking with that. I love it. Let's just tidy up around the edges. I'm just getting a nail art brush. I'm just going around the very edge. Having a little clean up of that polish that's extra. And I'll clean up properly afterwards. So that's what we're up to so far. Looking very pretty already. And then we're going to go in, like I said, with the snowflakes, which are just a bit further down the plate. Just here. Go straight in. Obviously, I'm fully aware that this set is very overkill, but it's not very often that I do anything like that on myself. So I thought, you know what? Why not? So I'm just going to apply that straight to that nail there. And there's that. And again, just going to clean up around the edges. Like so. There we go, nice and easy. That looks perfect. And then we're going to get on to the chrome stamping, which is basically what we're all here for. So I'm going to go straight in with my holly ones, just because they're on the plate that I've already got in front of me. So I'm just going to go over the image because I've covered it a bit with one that I've just used. Again, I've already buffed these to make sure they're nice and smooth and ready. I'm going to get my chrome at the ready. I'm going to get rid of the plate at the ready so I can put them both into the lamp pretty soon. I'm going to use my Moira foil gel stamping polish. I'm going to apply that straight to the image on the plate. Wipe off any excess at a 45-degree angle. This doesn't dry naturally, it does need curing, so you've got a bit of extra time to play with this because of that. And then we're going to just apply that straight to the nail. Just figuring out about where I want it. I'm going to go about there. So we've got a full one in the middle. Very cute. Again, just going to tidy up the outsides. This is more important than even usual, mainly because obviously it's a gel, so you don't want to leave it there and cure it to the skin. Although it is really, really thin, so it does usually come off pretty easy, even after it's cured. And once I've done that, I'm going to do my stamping on the ring finger, which, like I mentioned, is going to be these cute presents. I'm just going to go over that image to make sure that's clean. Apologies for the length of this video. I am well aware that it's probably going to be about half an hour long, if not even more. Very sorry. And then I'm just going to clean off my stamper. Pick up those. If there's any that are not going to fit on my nail, I will just get rid of them. I don't want any half presents anywhere because that would just look really random. So it's easier to just get rid of the half ones and then we can apply some more if we need to. So I'm just going to go ahead and press that down there. All the way across the nail. And then I'm going to put this one down here. In fact, I'm going to get rid of any bits that I don't want. There's still one left on there that I can use. So I'm going to keep him there. Get rid of everything around him and pop him in that corner like so. Just need a little bit of a clean up. On the outside and on the nail. Like so. And then we're going to pop that into the lamp for a full, well, for not full cure. It's a 60-second cure product, but I like to cure it for 30 seconds and then put my chrome on and then another 30 seconds. So in the process of that, I'm just cleaning off my brush, making sure that's nice and clean, ready for application. And then as soon as it comes out, I can pop my chrome on, which is just next to me here. Okay, so next step is to obviously apply my chrome. I'm going to get a bit on my brush and just really gently wipe it over the image. Obviously the image is quite thin, so it is hard to see that it is red, but it is. can just see it in the reflection, I think. And then my ring finger next. Again, don't need that much. I've just put way too much on, but it's not a problem. Get that on the nail. And then once you're happy, I'm just going to clean off my brush so there's no excess chrome on there, and then I can use that to dust over, because it's a nice soft brush. It works well to dust over the nail, get rid of any excess that you don't want anywhere. A little bit down here that's got a bit of a roughy colour, but that's fine because I just need my, where is it, clean up brush, little tiny bit of acetone, and just wipe it away basically. Obviously red does spread quite a lot, but just keep on top of it and it will clean up. I've just got rid of a bit of my present by accident, but it's fine. And then once you're happy with that, all that's left to do for this set is just top coat. I absolutely adore how these came out. I definitely should have top coated the two that were already stamped with white. Actually, to be fair, the reds came off. I did get a bit of red on there, but it's come off nicely. It's fine, it's not stuck because that polish is dry, so it's all right. So let's go straight in with top coat. I am so excited to see how these turned out. I'm going to quickly top coat off camera, clean my hand up because it's filthy, and then I'll show you how they look. So here is the finished look. I absolutely love how this set turned out. I love the stamps, they're so cute. The metallic flakes are just stunning. Like, I can't stop looking at them. They're just so beautiful. I've also got them in different colours. I've got gold, fuchsia, green and copper. So I imagine the fuchsia to be beautiful, and the green would be good for Christmas as well. Obviously copper and gold is as well, I suppose. So definitely get your hands on some of those if there's any on the website, because they are stunning. And obviously the red are a must-have because look at them, they just look incredible. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this design. I absolutely loved putting it together. They're so pretty. I'm now going to attempt to get it off basically. I've also just washed my hands and totally forgot that my thumb obviously had the peel off base coat on, and now it's gone all weird and gooey because it's wet, so that's great. But anyway, let's see if we can get this off without actually wrecking my press-ons? Not press-ons, my full-on tips. I need to figure out how far across the nail I went with the, what's it called, peel-off base. And make sure that I don't stick something underneath my actual nail, because I'm really good at doing that when I've got full-on tips on. It's not great, I'm not going to lie. Not got off to a great start. Let's ignore that one for now, see if we can get another one up. Well, that bit raised straight away, so I thought that was gonna go well. Let me try something else to lift it. I'd help if I actually kept an eye on my phone to make sure I was even in focus, wouldn't it really? But never mind. Right, that's the corner up. Oh. There we go. We have some liftage. That's good. It's a good sign. Sidewalls are always a little bit iffy because I think sometimes I don't apply the peel off base quite as close to the sidewalls as I should. And then I go closer to the sidewall with my actual colour than I do the peely base, and then I end up like encapsulating the peel off base, which obviously isn't what you're supposed to do. Doesn't really make any sense. This is just coming off in layers, which is really weird because there isn't a layer like between the flakes. Oh, there is, isn't there? I forgot that I'd put a layer of base coat over the top of the flakes before stamping, so that does actually make sense now. I feel like every time I'm trying to peel off designs on videos lately, I'm failing miserably. Let's try the next one. See if any of them are actually gonna work in my favour. This is a good strong start. I'm loving this one. Definitely shouldn't have spoke too early. It's oddly satisfying but also really sad all at the same time because I really did like this set. To be honest, they're far more Christmassy than I would ever wear, so the likeliness of me keeping nails on like this, like long term, are very slim anyway. So it's not overly that sad that I'm taking them off, because yeah, not really the type of set of nails I would wear. I love snowflakes, don't get me wrong, but anything a bit more Christmassy than snowflakes isn't really my thing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not an overly Christmassy type of person, but you know, each their own. We're all different, and that's what makes the world go round. Heading back to this one, see if I can get this to lift at all, because that white one off the ring finger came off really good. I think another problem that I'm having... Oh, that one came off really good actually. Oh, look at that. That was a shock. Get this bit. Perfect. That turned out really well. Let's see what this red one's like. Need to again make sure that I don't go underneath the nail. The white nails definitely came off better. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't stick this bloody metal thing underneath my actual full-on tip, because I've done that before and it doesn't end well. Obviously don't want to be ripping my actual nails off at this point. I think this is as good as we're going to get. Which, there is a little bit lifted there. If I could just get a little bit to lift, I'm hoping it'd sort of start a trend for the rest of the nail. I'm not going to make you sit through all of this, don't worry. I'm aware it's got pretty boring now, but at least 2 came off relatively easily. So yeah, I'm going to leave the video here and get the rest of these off and start another video. So thank you so much for watching, as always. Very, very much appreciated, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye!